My name's Kevin Bonine. I'm Director of Education and Outreach at Biosphere 2, and I've had the pleasure of being supported by the Haury Program in a few different ways. Some of the programs that we have at Biosphere 2, as well as being a Haury Faculty Fellow. And the workshop today with community partners is about effective partnership. And I think that can't be overstated. If you think about the university's mission as a land-grant institution and providing services and being a resource for Arizona and for the community, we really need to act on that a little bit more powerfully so that we are communicating with the potential partners and finding out what they need, how we can be effective, how we can help them achieve their goals while also achieving our goals. And sometimes those goals don't overlap entirely, but how do we get those things to intersect in a way that the things that we do for our scholarship and the things that we do for our students are also things that contribute to the goals of organizations in the community that serve to improve education or food security, health and well-being. All of those things are places where I think the university can play a role in participating and providing resources to communities. And on the flip side, I think the communities provide a real-world context for some of the so-called ivory tower work that happens and sometimes doesn't have as much relevance as it could or as it should.
So I think that some of the things that came out of this partnering workshop were to think about how developing relationships with community partners takes time, and that a lot of times these community networks exist before a project or a person who's working on a project shows up. And so these existing networks are in place, and finding a way that you can connect to these existing community networks in a way where the shared interest of the people who are doing the project as well as the interests of the community members themselves is a really important part of developing that community partnership.
My name is Lisa Carter. I'm with Tucson Village Farm, and we have over 100 community partners, and we are great proponents of partnership. And what we always look for is to find that win-win, and there's always a win-win, and when you can find it, there's a great chance you're going to have a great partnership. And we rely on our partners to help carry out our mission.
Look at the national Hello everyone, I'm Endrika K. Salt. I am of the Reed clan and born for the Salt clan, and originally from Black Mesa, Arizona. If you do not know where that is in the Four Corners area region. I am the tribal liaison of the Southwest Environmental Health Sciences Center at the College of Pharmacy. And one of my important vital duties is working with the Southwest tribes here. One of the most important components here is making sure there is effective cross-pollination and bidirectional communication among researchers and tribal members and leadership, community, youth, and families. So I'm here to discuss about what goes into the process of collaborative partnering. So for me, in my eyes, my experience, I see it as a brotherhood and sisterhood relationship. Working in this manner, it allows all voices to be transcendent across projects, and that is what we work towards.
No Melody Yan Matiwa, Itam Hopiat. Hello, my name is Melody Lopez. I'm with Indigenous Strategies. I work with tribal communities throughout Arizona.
I'm Lacey Wyman. I'm faculty in the College of Education, and I also work in Indigenous education.
About 2 years ago, leaders throughout Southern Arizona's tribal communities came together wondering, what's going on with our young men? And we really needed a venue to find our way of answering the question, how to engage them best in education, tribal lifeways, and environmental stewardship. Luckily, we were able to find a really great partner at the College of Education.
And I'm very lucky to be working on this project with Melody. We had worked together on a couple of engagement events previously, and we have a third partner, Eric Druve of the Ironwood Tree Experience, and we've come together with a Haury Seed Grant that we're very fortunate to have to bring together stakeholders to try to understand better how to engage youth in education, tribal lifeways, and land stewardship. And it's a three-phase project. We've already been working on the first phase, going out and finding out what programs are already doing really amazing work with Native young men and boys. We put together an advisory committee. We were very grateful to have a tremendous group of Native educational leaders, as well as upcoming Native male graduate students working with us to help define what this project should look like at every step of the way. And we're moving forward into youth listening sessions, which will be taking place. And then in the third phase, we're going to be holding major community dialogue sessions with youth, bringing together stakeholders to try and develop future educational opportunities and better inform efforts that are already happening to reach out to Native youth and Native young men. So it's a multi-layered project, and I think one takeaway we've had from today is really discussing those layers, both the participatory piece of really consulting with community members, how do you strategize when new opportunities come up along the way and keep your original goals in focus. How do you bring in stakeholders who don't usually work together, namely tribal populations and then also land use agencies in the third phase of the project. We've talked over some of the ethical pieces of working with tribal communities, given how many projects have rolled in and out without any results to show for them. How do we have a long-term commitment to this topic and to the populations we want to serve, while also taking advantage of opportunities, bringing in new stakeholders who may not have any previous existing work in Indian country. So those are some of the things we've been discussing today, and it's been a great chance to reflect at this Haury workshop on collaborative leadership and partnership.
So this workshop that we did today was a wonderful opportunity for us to really get a sense of the true commitment of the Haury Foundation to really looking at the issue of partnership and defining partnerships in ways that includes academic institutions as well as community partners and bringing them together in a single partnership.
Yeah, and I think that it's been a good opportunity for us because we've been in partnerships for 20 years or more, and in reality you sort of see the life of a partnership, and a project starts with a partnership. A real project starts with a partnership, and then from there it can go in so many different directions. But if you don't have that partnership, you're really cutting off the possibilities to do all kinds of things. So to hear where everybody is in their trajectory of partnership and what they've learned and how far they've gone already is really amazing.
And I think the challenge that Haury is really trying to address is to figure out how to bring academia and community together in ways that can really put forth an agenda that's truly about social justice. And you know, they always say if it had been easy, it would have been done a long time ago, and it clearly is a new way of approaching this, of bringing resources to community organizations and to academia and having to sit down together and think through an agenda that's meaningful.
You know, and there's no doubt that sort of the essence of a successful partnership is flexibility and adaptability, and I think the Haury funding specifically allows partners to engage in that, so they can take different roads or take a different fork in the road as they move forward. So I think the Haury opportunity is one where we can really, as a university, build partnerships in ways that we haven't before. So it's very exciting to see that.
And I think it truly supports the concept of co-learning, because I can certainly speak for Maya and myself of even in this workshop today, after 20 to 30 years of working with communities in partnership around social justice issues, there's nothing like a group of people getting together that are trying to do that, because every experience brings something new to the table, both in terms of challenges as well as really dynamic kinds of guides to moving forward together. So it was great for us. I mean, we learned as much as everybody in the room did, because it's more about sharing, and really from that sharing coming up with some new ideas that everybody can benefit from. So certainly if I were thinking about applying for one of these and realizing that I would have the opportunity, that I'm not in this alone, that I have the opportunity to come together with all these other projects that are facing the same challenges and looking towards the same kinds of goals, I would grab it in a second.
Yeah, and I would really look at this as an opportunity to develop a partner. I mean, since it's not conscripted what kind of a project that you have to do necessarily, it's an opportunity to sit down with people in the community and talk about what kinds of things are important and what sort of things you have in common to work on together as a starting place. And even looking forward, you don't have to apply this year. You really can take time or get a seed grant to think about things, and being able to take that time is really important, and having that flexibility is really important.
Hello, I'm Jerry Lopez. I'm an assistant professor in the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences, and also a STEM specialist through Cooperative Extension, 4-H STEM.
And I'm Melody Lopez. I work with Indigenous Strategies, engaging tribal communities throughout Arizona.
So some of the lessons that I've learned through the Haury project this past year is the importance of being able to listen to your community partners. It's critical to really try to put yourself in their perspective and try to understand their needs specifically, and have that sort of drive our steps and our strategies that we're going to use to go ahead and reach that. And we've been doing that through working with our teachers, through the local schools that we've partnered with, the tribal education departments, and then our team, collective team that we have through the university and other community partners like Melody, to really develop a program that's going to address the needs of our students in order to prepare the next generation of STEM innovators.
As a community partner working with the University of Arizona, what's been a real delight in working with the Haury Challenge has been having a department that's very responsive to tribal needs, and we feel very heard and included in the process. It's been a good experience.